Good morning, y'all. We're back out here again working with Annie and Abilene. Just showed up. They're kind of standing here grazing, and actually Abilene came up and checked us out a little bit on her own, which is pretty cool to see. It's obvious they've got kind of a relationship with Laura because she came up, let Laura scratch her on the head a little bit, and then she kind of checked me out. And so it's great that they feel comfortable making requests in a nice, calm way. And she was pretty calm, except for when she got to touch, then she got a little pushy. And so that's just good information for us, and we're going to work on that kind of stuff. So one of the things we're really going to help these horses with is how to feel pressure in a relationship and how to feel a request from somebody else and stay calm and respond to that request rather than react. I think we're going to continue to see that they kind of react when they feel some pressure. And that's just part of their existence up to this point in the world. So we're going to start off again like we did last time, just asking them to head that way towards the round pen, and we'll start doing some work there. And again, we're going to start with detachment. And I'd really like to see them calmly detach and try to stay a little connected this time compared to last time. And they are doing a little bit better already. We'll see how long that lasts. As they both, you see the energy, the tension in their body goes up. Come on, ladies. Oh, we got to poop. Okay. Oh, there they go. And so we'll just stay with them here. And they didn't run off too far before they turned around and looked at us again and kind of connected a little bit. And then they got dysregulated and took off again. But Abilene already found the place to go. And he didn't quite find it. And that might just be okay for today. What do you say we just work with Abilene to start with?
That's a great idea.
Now Annie's going to start feeling some separation anxiety here. And so is Abilene. And so we'll see how much of that they can tolerate. And here they're coming out, back out. And Annie, so this is some stress. They got themselves separated this morning. All right. Hi, Miss Abilene. She's over there. You're okay. Yeah, she's over there. All right. Just get a pin here. Okay. All right, that ought to be good enough. All right, so we've got Abilene here in the round pen. She's obviously worried about Annie, who's out there. Annie has stopped off at a distance out there and is just watching us. And I can see that Abilene is feeling anxious about being separated from Annie, which makes a whole lot of sense. This is really the relationship she has right now where she feels most safe in the world. So we're going to help her with that. And I'm just going to stay in detachment here, just asking her to move around here. And I want to see her be able to calm down and connect a little bit. And she's going to want to attach. But is she trying to attach in a way that's connected or in a way that's really anxious? And I want her to be able to do that in a way that's really connected. And to do that, she's going to have to calm down in her body a little bit out there, get to the parts of her brain where she can actually regulate herself and connect with me and not let this thought of, oh my gosh, I'm separated from Annie, I'm gonna die, rule her life. She connected a little more in my request for detachment there. And now we see her change directions. And that was, I don't know, that was enough that side, she said. So now I'm just getting maybe some good information on side dominance from her, don't know. But she seems to want to go counterclockwise a lot, which initially would tell me that maybe she's protecting her right side. And that's all just stuff I'm taking in as I ask for this detachment. Oh, she looks at me, feels the pressure to stay out and walks back out and sort of disconnects a little. You still see overall she's pretty anxious. But now that head's going down, she's starting to smell some stuff, check some stuff out. She looked at me that time, felt this request for me to just stay out and keep going. Can we walk calmly? There we go. Starting to calm down a little here. Oh, nice. Responds to that pressure to stay out. Sees Laura and the GoPro over here. She's checking those things out. I know, that's new, isn't it? So I like that she's checking those things out. I'm just going to let her explore. Got herself worked up over it a little bit. So now she's going to have to calm down. Good. So there's several times that she's calmed down and tried to come in here. And you notice I'm asking her to stay out. I like that she's wanting to come in here. But really the thing that I'm wanting to help her with initially here is to be able to calm herself down out there. Especially, you know, from what Laura's told me, she gets in, and what I've seen is when she feels anxious around touch, she gets aggressive. And she kind of wants to bite you or shove your hand around. Even with the GoPro, exploring the GoPro, her way to connect with this new thing on the fence was to strike at it with her foot. And that's not how I want her to interact with me. So I want to make sure that out here she can really be calm and connected in detachment a little first. And she's really learning the same things about me in this process too. As long as I'm staying calm and connected to her while we're doing it. Hi, sweetie. Good. There you go. Ah, she said, I've had enough of you on my right side. That's okay. We spent quite a bit of time there on her, what seems to be her dominant side so far. And you see when we get back on this other side, she's a little calmer. It's a little easier for her. So here I move that pressure back around to her rear. See if she noticed. She didn't really, which gives me good information as she's walking around there about where her thoughts and attention are. There she finally realized it. Hi! So now just a little pressure on her rear. And we lost her pretty quick there, even though she started to follow me. Annie's walking up. And so we lost her focus a little. Yeah, Annie's over there. You can still see her. Good. Well, come on. And so what we're finding is once there's enough pressure on her rear, she can connect and stay connected for about 2 or 3 seconds before some other thoughts take over and we lose connection. And so that's good stuff to be aware of. I want to try to hold connection longer with her, and we are this time. But those thoughts took over there again and we lost her. But maybe not completely that time. Reconnected pretty quick. And of course, those thoughts that are interfering with our relationship is the anxiety about being separated from her buddy. And that's all stuff we're here to help her with. Hey, Miss Abilene. So every time I think her mind's starting to wander, to stray back to this insecure feeling she has about being separated, I just put a little more pressure on her butt to bring her back into connection with me. And if you see her, it's about 1 or 2 seconds of looking at me before her eyes dart off back over to Annie, which is a completely natural thing for what these two horses have gone through together. They were running in the same band on the Wild Horse Sanctuary, and they got loaded in a trailer one day together and went on a 2-day drive down to Texas here, which I imagine can be a little traumatic. And they formed a bit of a trauma bond over that, but I think they already had a little bond to begin with. And so a big source of their safety is just being together. And so we're asking her to consider something else, and that's going to be harder. There you go. And so if you notice with Abilene, there are times when she seems to go somewhere else a little bit. Her body will stiffen, her eyes will harden. It's like she zoned out real quick. Well, hello. What do you think? What do you think about this? Oh, it's too much. Not ready yet, huh? Okay. Okay, well, stay connected here. Stay connected. Here. About now. So she came toward it a little bit. She also, her energy shot up a little bit, a little more tense as she stepped into it. So that's something we're going to want to work on, help her with, is even just that initial thought and step of coming in here closer. Can that be something that's not so anxiety producing? And so when she does step in, the hand just goes away. I relax, release pressure. And you see the space between us start to decrease more and more here. She's feeling a little more comfortable stepping in, but you know, there's definitely a boundary I can feel where she doesn't feel comfortable stepping in, you know, past like this far apart. That's okay. So one of the things, if stepping towards me is hard, instead of stepping towards me when I'm just standing still, one of the things that's going to be a little easier is if I continue to move. So for me, some really good progress for her would be not that she comes in for me to touch her, but instead that she could stay connected long enough in this attachment to just follow me a little ways and just to keep stepping towards me in a way that's nice and calm. Right now we can't stay connected for more than 4 or 5 seconds, it seems like. There's a good breath. Looked like we had a thought there. Yeah, come on. And as we've been working, Annie's worked her way up about 30 yards away, standing at the fence, nice and calm, and she's just watching us. That's good to see. All right, so now we're gonna go back to just a little detachment. right, Abilene. Good job, sweetie. Oh. Yeah. Oh, too much. Okay, that's okay. You can go that way again. I just want you to step out there a little more. Yeah. And so we see this is the same thing that happens when we start this request out in the pasture. Kind of her first response to pressure on her body in detachment is to jump into this kind of resistive, reactive place. And so that's good stuff for us to work on. There you go. You go out more that way, a little bit. The request to go into this side of the pen still makes her pretty anxious, gets her a little more aroused. She doesn't want to step into that space over there for whatever reason. That'll be a good thing for us to work on. See if we can figure out how to calmly step over there. Yeah, maybe because there's a house on the other side of that fence and strange noises coming from there that you can't see. Well, that's understandable. But we can still learn to connect and move over into that space a little bit. Yeah, you did it, I know. You didn't really do it calmly, but you did it. That's okay. We'll keep practicing. All right, go a little further this time. She's staying really connected with me. She can tell when I put just a little pressure to ask her to step more over there. And she's connecting with that. That's good to see. And so if I move this pressure back to her rear, she ought to come around. All right, Abilene. What is that over there? What is that over there? Whew. Darling. This, you see this GoPro? What about over here? You want to check out what's going on over here? It's just the same old fence. Nothing over here is going to get you. Yeah, well, come on. Annie's inching closer and closer down the fence line here, just watching us. Wow. You see Annie's over there, nice and calm, just watching us. Hey. Hi. So there she came to check me out. She reached out and sniffed me, and I released the pressure. Those are the things that I want to encourage in this relationship. And for me, approaching calmly, starting to smell me a little bit is a pretty appropriate way to get to know me and to start to explore some touch. And so when I get that, I'm going to release pressure. You know, our inclination when we get that is to reach out and touch her. That's the thing we want to do a lot of times. But it's important to recognize that we're still in the beginning stages of this, and that releasing the pressure is what's going to encourage her to calmly approach time and again. Reaching out a hand's probably going to shoot her anxiety level up a little bit, and maybe something that pushes her a little more toward the aggressive tendencies we see from her when we go into that touch a little bit. And so for me, it's going to be really important the way we start to approach how to touch. Because I don't want to touch her just to meet my needs, but I don't want her to touch me just to meet her needs. Hey, sweetie. So right now her breathing's really shallow, her head's pretty high, her ears have got tension. This just tells me how she's feeling here in her body. And you can see she's jittery and jerky and ready to fly at a moment's notice or pounce. Which one is it? I guess we'll find out. And so I'm just going to stand here. This is a space we haven't shared before. I'm going to stand here and stay connected with her. And really, I want to just see her relax. Oh, that head's starting to come down. You're starting to fight. Oh, you're going to have to step out just a little bit to really relax that head. That's okay. Yeah. So I don't want her to lose connection with me in that process. And so when I noticed she started to, I just put a little pressure on her rear. Hey. So even there, just a thought and a look toward me, I'll release a little pressure. Maybe step back in. You see the ears perk back up. Oh, she says that's a little close, I don't know. Ah, she steps in. Her head's nice and low. Her ears were on me and a little more calm, and so I'll step back. Hey. And these last couple of times with her stepping in is not because I had pressure on her butt making that request. It was a request that she made. And this is something we've seen with her a little bit, is that when it's her idea and on her terms, she feels a little more confident about taking those steps in. And so we're just going to help her balance that out in the context of a relationship a little bit. What about when I ask for it? Can you do it just as calmly and confidently? Oh, and that was good. Reached out and touched my hand. Explored really respectfully there. And so I'm going to release that pressure. Yeah, Annie's over there moving around. So there, she's able to calm down just a little. Stay connected with me, and so I'm going to step out and release the pressure a little bit. We'll try again. I just got a little pressure on her rear there. Oh. Scared herself in that one. It's okay. It's scary, reaching out, touching something. Hey. So starting to see a real pattern with Abilene here. And of course it's one that makes sense. And she's always really pretty willing to follow me right into this space here. And this is a space where she feels pretty safe in stepping into and exploring me right here. And anytime I ask her to step outside of this kind of little circle here between the water trough and the GoPro, we suddenly lose connection right there. Every time. And Annie's here. This is where Abilene feels safest in the world that she's in right now. She can't get out of this pen. Her best friend that she feels safe with is over here. There's weird, scary noises on the other sides of these fences. And so this is where she feels safe, and she's choosing every time that safety over our relationship. And that's just good information. Things we can start to work on a little bit. And see, we're on the edge of that, and she's having a thought now. Do I go over there? Do I go with them? All right. She came over here, but is she going to turn on and run back over there? Yep, she is. So now we're going to help her with detachment in that, knowing that this is kind of her spot. And this is the thing that's getting in the way of our relationship a little bit. And so we'll help with detachment on, can you leave the spot, stay calm, and come back into it. And so I'll just ask her to move out. Nice, and she's able to stay connected. You see, she doesn't move out very far, and then, oh, I've got to run, get back over to my safe space. Oh, I can stop. And so, pressure will come on over here. And we'll ask her to step out into that scary space and see if she can stay calm. Let her come back in. I don't want to block this space off from her. But I want to ask her to step out into that big scary space out there. Oh, and when she steps out, good, she stepped out more into it that time. I'm gonna release pressure and open it back up for her to go back in there, and instead she wants to come and connect with me and attach a little, which is cool. You wanna see what's out here? Huh? Come on, we can see. What's scarier, doing it alone or doing it with me? Both pretty scary. There you go. Oh. Yeah. And so she's taken a few steps out here. And so we're going to go back into where she feels safe. And you notice as she took those steps out there, she suddenly got just really, really hungry and needed to graze a lot. That's just a coping mechanism for her. I feel nervous. I'm going to satisfy those nervous feelings with a little grazing. Hey. Good. Couple of steps out here. Nice connected ones. So then, stay connected. We'll come back in here together. What, are you pushing me out of your safe space? What was that posture about? Hi. Okay, good. You check me out, I'll release the pressure and move out of your safe space. That's nice. That's got to feel good for you. All right, you want to come out here with me? Ooh, getting on the edge of that. Oh, it's tough. There you go. Oh, about as much as we could stand. All right, you're out here. Make a choice. You come with me? All right. Good girl. Well, now let's go back into it. Yeah. go. Good yawn. Releasing some of the tension she feels out there while still being out there. There she goes. That was hard. Good job. I know. I'll come out of your space a little there for you as you go back in. I know. And so now she's starting to touch me and starting to explore me a little bit. And when she does, release the pressure. Her breathing's still real shallow in here. She still feels nervous. And she reaches out, she wants to bite, she wants to get her teeth on me. And I just move my arm out of the way, and that's enough energy for her to not feel comfortable in this space, and she has to leave. And she's gonna reconnect here. She's gotta learn how other people feel when she reaches out to bite them. She doesn't learn that by me standing there really stiff and letting her do it. She learns how I feel about these things by me having some sort of response. And it's better to have a nice calm response, but still some response that, oh, no, I don't like you biting me. And when you do, I'm gonna put some pressure on your butt and ask you to reconnect. And it's not that she's mean or aggressive, it's that she feels anxiety around this stuff. And the way she expresses that in her body is through some aggressive tendencies. Annie's found her way in the gate back here. She's sneaking up on Laura. Hi. All right, so what if I ask for touch? Oh, good. So I reach my hand out there, her head comes down, she smells me, she connects, and the hand goes away. And so we've started working on touch, not by directly working on touch. We started by recognizing where she feels safe, helping her cope with and deal with moving outside of that. And in that, we've built some semblance of a relationship where she's starting to wonder if I'm safe to touch. All right, I know that's a scary space. Come on. Come out here with me. You can do it. Good. Good. Oh, Annie's coming up to the fence. Look at that. Are you going to go meet her there, or are you going to stay with me? That's what I thought. Ah. Okay. Yep, she's there. And I'm still here. Oh, Annie. Are you a source of co-regulation, or are you a source of dysregulation, Annie? Gosh, Abilene, which one of those things makes you feel better? Hi. Hi. Yeah, show Annie how we can be nice and calm together, and it feels good. Yeah. Doesn't it feel better? Oh, biting. even harder for her to choose me over running back to Annie, now that Annie's really close. And that's okay, this is good stuff for us to work on. All right, good girl. Well, now let's both go back over here to Annie. What do you think? Hi, Annie. Good. Hi, Abilene. Oh. All right, so this will be another good time to go back and work on some detachment. And so we'll ask Abilene to step out there. And this is probably where we need a lot of work here still, so we'll probably work a little more here. And it's gonna be with Annie coming right up here to the pin, puts a lot more pressure on Abilene to go over there and just have all her attention focused on Annie. And so we'll ask her to move out and move away and stay calm and connected and build her ability to have a healthy detachment here. Good. So there I put a little pressure on her side and she stepped out even more, so I just released and relaxed a little bit. She stayed connected here. It's nice. I'm going to ask her to step out even further. Her tendency is to want to step in. And you see it's stepping out further into that space, gets her up into that trot. I want to work with her to the point that she can stay on the edge of this pin in a nice calm walk and stay connected with me. And can go into some of the scary places without having to run by them. And back to her little safe spot in the world. Because what I eventually want to do is help her be able to find safety wherever she is in the world. And she's got to find that inside herself. But to do that, she's got to experience it. And she's not going to push herself into those spaces. And so she's got to go there with somebody that she can feel some sort of connection to and somebody that she can co-regulate with. And hopefully I'm that source for her. And as we continue building our relationship, that'll just get better and better and better, the way she feels about us going out there together. And she's already feeling a little better about it. Wants to check out the GoPro, that's all right. Part of learning how to feel safe wherever I am in the world is being able to feel safe exploring that place that I'm at. And so I like to see her out there staying connected with me, but exploring what's out there. And she goes back to it. Checks it out for a second. Tension comes back to me and I say, all right, well, let's move on. Yeah. So go out there. Yeah. Oh, we got a poop. Ah, there you go. So again, she's avoiding stepping out towards the edges of there. And she wants to resist, so I just kept the pressure the same. She had a little bigger response to it, but she did step away and the pressure was released. Yeah, and she steps into that space a little better that time. And as she does, pressure gets released. Nice. I don't want to have to ride her with that pressure all the time to get her to step out there. So I want to ask her to step out there, which she does. I want to release the pressure. And as long as she's stepping out in there, that pressure is not going to come back, but that connection's going to stay there. So here, she's stepping out in there on her own. Good. Yeah, you can keep going. Yeah. And this is us really starting to connect in detachment. You see her out there doing things that are hard and then checking in with me to see if it's okay. We're starting to build a really good connection through detachment here. And now look at her really stepping out there into that space by herself. I'm going to ask her to step a little further, and she does. The pressure goes away. You want some water? No? Okay. All right. Stepping further and further out into that space. And it's taking smaller and smaller amounts of pressure for me to get her to do that. No, something out there hitting that fence, isn't it? What is it? They're playing baseball over there. I mean, in California, you never had neighbors play baseball, huh? Good. Really stepping out there. Good. Good job. Yeah, you're doing good. You want to go the other way? Okay, let's try it the other way. It's going to be harder. I know. I know. Good. Oh. Stay going this way. And so, of course, with me on this more dominant side, we're going to struggle more. But that's not outside her window of tolerance. She's not going crazy. That's just hard. And so we're going to keep working here and we're going to grow a little bit. She says, what if I just want to attach to you? Will that get you off my dominant side? No, no, no. You don't get to control me that way. Every time she's going to ask. That's okay. There you go. Starting to regulate a little out there. And this time she doesn't ask to change directions or come back in, which is great. Can you step out there further? Good. And you can see physically in her body, it's harder for her when she feels the pressure to step out there. She wants a drink of water. All right. Annie's going to come up and say hi. Hi, Annie. All right, we got water. Let's keep going. Good. That time as she walked out there, her head was outside. She was looking at what's out there. That's progress to me. She stayed calm enough as she moved out there to check it out and see if it was a scary place. And maybe Annie's just been lying to you this whole time, telling you it's scary so you don't leave her. Girl. Good girl. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. My turn? Good. Okay. Let's detach again. Let's move back into them scary places. Good. Next time, instead of having to come back over here, let's turn into that scary place a little. Ooh. There you go. Hey, good job. So there, she calmed down and explored out there just a little bit. And so then I released the pressure, let her back into her safe spot. Ask her to go where she's uncomfortable, let her come back to where she's comfortable. And so now we'll try again. All right, go out there into those places you don't want to go. What about that corner? What about that corner over there? You can do it. There you go. Turn into that one. Yeah, there's a hole there. Yeah, you don't want to step in that, do you? I see it. I saw it out there. There you go. So you did a really great job there, stepping into that space. Nice and calm. So I open up the space that she likes to be in. Let's see if she'll step out here with me this time. Oh. Still tough to do an attachment. But there we got a little distracted there. Even tricked me into thinking something was over there. It was a good fake. So oddly enough, she seems to have just seen the green building or something over here in the trees that she doesn't want to go near. Even when her face turns there, she looks at it and she's got her head up and ears and something there. And so I'm just going to encourage her to explore that through detachment like we've been working on. And of course, she'd rather avoid it and run back over here to the safe space. And so I'm just going to keep asking her to engage with whatever it is she thinks is there. I don't see any big monsters going to eat her, so I'll keep asking her to check it out. Ah. What's over there? Do you see it? Oh, good. Okay. And walk over there. Turn back in there and go look at it a little. So anytime I can figure out there's something that's bothering her that she's avoiding, I want to help her get really good at, instead of immediate avoidance being her pattern, that she tries to connect with what's ever out there and see if it's dangerous. See if it's really scary. And there's a million scenarios down the line where that's going to help us out quite a bit if she can do that instead of jumping out of her pants. And we just work on that by asking her to detach over there, check it out. You didn't check it out, you just tried to avoid it again. So the pressure is going to stay for you to move over there. You still haven't really looked at it. There you go. Okay, good. So she looks at it, pressure goes away. I move out of her space, and I'll move into this scary spot over here. You can go back and hide over there in your safe place if you want. Yeah, you can. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. You want to have a look? No, you're going to come over with me a little bit? Ah, this is great. This is what I want, is that we can check it out together. Look, yeah, there's nothing over there. Okay, let's run back over here to where it's safe. Yeah, hurry, hurry, it's gonna get us. Oh, there's nothing to be afraid of over there? Okay. All right, so we've done some pretty good work together in here. Lots of detachment. Lots of figuring out how to calm down and do things that are uncomfortable. And so maybe we'll just end. On some nice, mutual. Oh. You see, that gets her body all tensed up. Just this touch. Her breathing gets real shallow. So this is a place we're just going to work. And initially, it's going to have to be that we can just stand here and look at each other and be calm first. Oh, that breathing's really shallow. So I want to see if she can stay connected. And deal with the tension in her body without having to step back or have an aggressive tendency. She says, I'd rather disconnect a little. I'm just going to ask her to stay connected. Now I just want to see her body relax. Her breathing get a little more normal. It's really, really shallow, really fast. See some tension come out of her ears, maybe. And I want to make sure she's still connected with me. I don't want her to check out to be able to do that. I want her to find how to regulate staying in connection with me. She wants to get distracted, to smell poop, do whatever to deal with that. I'm just going to ask her to stay connected with me and deal with that. And this is part of the self-regulation that she's going to have to learn. This co-regulation with me. Good. I like to see you shaking the tension out of your neck. That's pretty good. There's a good deep breath. I just want to find the proximity here at first where she can really relax and take a deep breath. I really don't want to be touching her if she can't do that. The shallow breathing, anxiety space she gets in, and she wants to distract with whatever Annie's doing. And so I'll ask her to reconnect with just some pressure on her butt. So I want her to be able to look at me. I want her to start to be able to regulate the things that happen in her body when she gets close to me. Right now, her body's the thing that controls what she's doing. Yeah, she's working out some tension in her jaw. Be nice to see a big yawn. You got a big yawn in there? Big. So her breathing's still really shallow and she's still got a little tension in her body, but this is progress. It's just a little progress. And so I think that's a good spot for us to end the day. You want to come back out here with Miss Annie? Huh? We'll let her out. Y'all stay tuned next week and we'll see what happens then. Thanks for watching.